The story begins with a man named Milo who suffers from a mental condition called autism, but don't be fooled by his innocence. To understand why, smash that like button and subscribe now, and dive in as we unravel this heart-pounding thriller. Milo had his eyes fixed on a woman while silently running complex calculations in his head. At the same time, he was carefully observing everything around him, like a passenger bus, a man sitting on the sidewalk, a pothole in the middle of the street, and a bicycle speeding his way. Taking all of these details into account, Milo crossed the road and placed a pencil from his pocket onto a mailbox. That simple act set off a chain reaction. When a taxi drove through the pothole, water splashed and the pencil fell to the ground. The man sitting by the roadside noticed the fallen pencil and bent down to pick it up. But in the very next moment, the cyclist crashed into him, causing a small accident. Because of this commotion, the bus driver got distracted and failed to notice that the traffic light had already turned red. In that split second of negligence, the bus struck the very woman Milo had been watching. And just like that, through sheer calculation, Milo committed a murder, cleverly disguising it as an accident. In the next scene, we see a woman named Olivia, who works in the French department of the FBI. Today, Olivia has returned to work after a long break, because during her last mission, she had suffered a head injury. That was why she had been sent on extended leave. Now, as Olivia walked back into headquarters, another officer named Charlie welcomed her. Charlie is not only the head of the team, but also the supervisor of the entire department. After this, we see FBI Chief Bishop in his office talking to someone. It is here that the shocking truth comes to light. Olivia is not a real human being. She's a clone, summoned from another universe. The chief had done this because, during the last mission, Olivia had lost her life. And since she had been his best agent, the chief couldn't bear to lose her. That's why he implanted all of Olivia's memories into the clone and, in a sense, brought her back to life. Not long after, the department received word of a tragic accident. A bus had struck a woman. Charlie then informed everyone that in just the past week, there had already been 2 similar accidents, and whether coincidence or not, he was convinced that someone had to be behind it. Soon after, the team arrived at the location and began questioning the people present there. This investigation was being led by an officer named Lee, a man whose face was completely burned. Charlie examined the dead body and through fingerprints discovered that the woman's name was Julian Foster. Meanwhile, Olivia interrogated the bus driver. The driver told her that in his entire career, he had never even harmed a small animal. He himself was shocked at how such a massive mistake could have happened. During the investigation, Lee noticed a pencil at the crime scene, something that left him utterly stunned. After a little questioning, it was revealed that a man sitting by the roadside had gone to pick up that very pencil, and in doing so, collided with a cyclist. Hearing this, Lee realized that the pencil was at the root of all this chaos. It had triggered the chain reaction that ultimately led to the woman's death. After this discovery, the team returned to headquarters, where Lee and Charlie tried to uncover a possible connection between this accident and the other mysterious ones that had occurred in the past week. At first, they couldn't find any connection between these accidents, but when Lee studied the photos carefully, he noticed something chilling. The same pencil appeared in both, and in that moment, his suspicion turned into certainty. A human hand was orchestrating these tragedies. After that, Lee and Charlie called in a woman named Astrid, a mathematician from the French department. Astrid explained to them that creating such a chain reaction and then using it to one's advantage was absolutely impossible for any ordinary person. But before she could say anything more, news of another accident came in. The moment they received the report, the team rushed to the location. This time, however, the victim had miraculously survived. Upon questioning, it was revealed that a small dog had suddenly run in front of the bus, causing it to spiral out of control. During the investigation, Olivia's eyes caught sight of a fallen pencil on the ground. In an instant, she understood. The chain reaction was far from over. When Olivia scanned the surroundings, she spotted Milo standing on the bridge. She saw him staring across the road at a man wearing headphones who was attempting to cross the street. But just then, an ambulance came speeding from the opposite direction and struck the man. He was killed instantly, right there on the spot. The moment Olivia saw it, she alerted her team members and sprinted straight toward Milo. Seeing Olivia charging toward him, Milo quickly calculated something in his mind and hurled a saw lying nearby off the bridge. The instant he did that, An oncoming bus swerved off its path and began heading directly toward the bridge where Milo stood. At that same moment, Olivia reached the bridge and aimed her gun straight at Milo. But before she could act, Milo leapt off the bridge and landed right on top of the moving bus. By the time Olivia could process what had just happened, Milo had already slipped from her grasp. After escaping, Milo returned home, where his sister Maddie was anxiously waiting for him. Maddie told him that over the past few days they had received several calls from the hospital, and they needed to see a doctor as soon as possible. But no matter how much she pleaded, Milo refused to go to the hospital. He brushed off Maddie's words without a second thought. Desperate, Maddie urged him to surrender, and reminded him how deep he had already sunk into this world of crime. Yet Milo wasn't moved. Instead, he tried to justify the things he had done. But before he could say anything more, Maddie showed him a small plastic horse, the one their mother had given him. The sight of it unsettled Milo. Memories of his mother, who was no longer alive, came flooding back, and for a moment he was visibly shaken. Next, we see Agent Lee, who had been brought to the hospital for a routine skin checkup. Before entering the chamber, Lee turned to Olivia and said, "You need to find any connection between the 3 people who died in these accidents." Keeping this in mind, Olivia returned to headquarters and began searching for a link between the 3 victims. After some investigation, Olivia discovered that all 3 of the people who had died in the accidents worked at the same hospital. Olivia immediately shared this information with Charlie, and the 2 of them went to that hospital. There, Olivia's eyes fell on a few patients using the exact same pencils they had seen at the crime scenes. Shortly after, they met with Dr. Levin and showed him pictures of the 3 victims. Dr. Levin identified all 3 and confirmed that they had worked at the hospital and had been part of a special experiment. Under this experiment, the hospital treated mentally ill patients in a unique way. A specific drug was used to temporarily enhance their mental IQ, and then, through a reverse process, their IQ was returned to normal. After this, the doctor showed them videos of some patients. In those videos, Olivia noticed Milo. Dr. Levin then revealed that Milo was also one of his patients and part of this very experiment. After the experiment, Milo had been sent home under his sister's care, with instructions to return to the hospital a week later so the process could be reversed and his mental state restored to normal. But when the hospital staff called him a week later, Milo refused to come back and even switched off his phone. Once they tracked down Milo's sister, Olivia and Charlie decided to meet her. They arrived outside Milo's house, unaware that Milo was observing every move Olivia made, analyzing the patterns in her actions to predict his next move. A short while later, Olivia and Charlie reached Milo's home and met Maddie. They asked her about Milo, but Maddie replied that she didn't know anything. Immediately, the 2 grew suspicious. Something told them Maddie was hiding something. So Olivia confronted her, explaining the murders Milo had committed, and warned her about how dangerous it could be to let him roam free. During this conversation, while Charlie was searching the house, Olivia told Maddie about her own sister, who was no longer alive. Hearing this, Maddie was deeply affected. She had lost her own mother just a few months ago. This shared experience stirred a sense of empathy in Maddie, and she decided to reveal some crucial information about Milo. Maddie explained that after the experiment, Milo's mind had become incredibly sharp. He could use his calculations to predict events happening around him, and to break his focus, they would need to show him the wooden horse, the same one their mother had given them. After this, Maddie handed Olivia an envelope containing the address of the hotel where Milo had been hiding for the past few days. Maddie told Olivia that she was leaving the house, fed up with Milo's actions and the danger surrounding them. With the address in hand, Olivia and Charlie immediately set out toward the hotel where Milo was hiding. Meanwhile, we see Milo standing by the hotel window, making precise calculations. He was observing a construction site nearby, marked with a low oxygen level sign. The area was thick with dust, and breathing without an oxygen pump would be impossible. Using his calculations, Milo meticulously devised a plan to kill Olivia. Milo's plan was chilling. He intended to lure Olivia into the construction area, and when she paused to take an oxygen break, he would drop the cement blocks on her, killing her instantly. According to Milo's calculations, Olivia and Charlie arrived at the hotel, where Olivia immediately spotted Milo standing across the street waiting for them. The moment Milo saw Olivia, he dashed toward the construction area, and Olivia immediately gave chase. Olivia, being a clone from another universe, didn't understand the low oxygen level warning sign. Without an oxygen pump, she entered the construction site. Her unexpected move completely threw off Milo's calculations. The very cement blocks he had planned to crush her with she managed to evade. Seeing his plan unravel, Milo was utterly shocked and in the end fell into Olivia's hands. But without sufficient oxygen, Olivia began struggling to breathe and collapsed to the ground. Seeing this, Milo tried to escape, but at the last moment, Charlie arrived. He aimed his gun at Milo and, most importantly, provided Olivia with oxygen, saving her life. After all the chaos, Charlie asked Olivia, "Why did you enter that area without an oxygen pump?" Olivia replied that, in her rush to catch Milo, she hadn't even paid attention to the warning sign. The truth, however, was that even if she had seen it, she wouldn't have understood it, because she was a clone, and the sign was completely foreign to her. In the final scene, we see Milo locked inside an isolated chamber, speaking to a supercomputer. The doctors explained that his mind had become so advanced that understanding his thoughts was impossible for any human. This revelation left Maddie heartbroken. She realized that, no matter how much she wanted to, she could no longer help her brother. Before leaving, however, she made one final visit to Milo. She placed the small toy horse, the one from their mother, before him and walked away. Enjoyed the thrill? Don't forget to share your thoughts with us. Hit like and subscribe for more Edge of Your Seat stories.